Hi everyone! Today I wanted to share some things that are brand new at the drugstore, and I've tested them now for a few weeks, so I wanted to share my thoughts on them just in case you've been walking by these new items at the drugstore and seeing all the marketing hype and wondering if they're any good. But I'm just going to share with you how they work on my skin and if I can highly recommend them or not. A couple of these products could potentially be Holy Grail products, and a couple of these products I know some people are saying that they're dupes, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts on that, if I do think that they're dupes for the high-end product or not. But before I share that, I just wanted to let you guys know City Beauty is having their Valentine's Day 35% off site-wide sale. These are a few of the products that I brought with me. I never leave home without my City lips. These are almost empty. This one, I still have plenty left, but these three, I have pretty much used these almost all the way up, so I do need to stock up on some of my City lips. And then this is one of my all-time favorite. This is actually my absolute favorite skincare product from City Beauty. This is their Skin Lifting Booster. You can mix this with any product you want. It's just little drops that come out. It's a really nice sheer kind of watery serum type product, but you can mix this with your skincare, you can mix this with your makeup, your concealer, whatever you would like to mix it with. And what it will do, it will kind of help, it keeps the skin super hydrated, but it will help give a little bit of a lifting effect when you use this. It has a bunch of really beautiful skincare ingredients, so you pretty much can transform any of your skincare and makeup products and kind of supercharge them and infuse these really amazing ingredients into your skin. And then of course I brought my City Beauty Invisicrepe. Now this is a body balm that you can use all over your body, anywhere that you have like that dry, crepey, crinkly skin. But I learned from you guys that you like to use it on your neck as a neck cream. Put it in this little travel container. This is a nice, thick, rich neck cream or a body cream, but since it's kind of pricey, of course I only like to get it when they're having these big sales, but I like to just concentrate it on my neck. So basically you're able, if you use it on your neck only, you're buying a big tub of it instead of putting it all over your body. You can just use it for a very long time just on your neck if you're looking to get rid of some of that crepiness and firm up that loose skin on the neck. And then of course my favorite is their Beyond Mascara. That's what I have on my lashes today. This is not just makeup, this is skincare in a mascara, and the reason I love it so much is not just because I think it's a beautiful mascara and makes my lashes look super thick, full, and lifted, and it doesn't budge all day long, and it washes off super easily, but I love this because this is the only mascara I have ever used that actually is good for my lashes and makes my lashes get healthier as I use it. I would use it even if it didn't have the skincare in it because I love the way it makes my lashes look, how it makes them look super long and pretty, but it's the skincare benefits, the healthy benefits for my lashes that I love in this product. I bought these two new concealers. I just did a video sharing these, so if you want more details, I will link that video down below. But this is one by Physicians Formula. This is their new Butter Glow Concealer. This does have the fragrance like all of their butter products, which that's the one thing I don't love. But for me, this could be a holy grail concealer. Everything about it is absolute perfection, minus the shade I picked. I picked way too light of a shade, but this concealer is fantastic if it didn't have this fragrance. I don't know, maybe they would reformulate it and call it something different, but if they did, for me, this could be a holy grail. This concealer is that amazing. If you're really sensitive to fragrance, don't even waste your time trying it out. But if fragrance doesn't bother you, then this might be something that you really want to try, especially if you have more mature under eye skin. Maybe you deal with that dryness, crinkling, crepiness underneath your under eye skin. This concealer gives a beautiful radiance, but it sets and it looks absolutely beautiful throughout the day. This is the other one I picked up. Now this wouldn't be a holy grail for me, but I do really like this. If you like the Tarte Shape Tape but you feel like it's a little bit too drying for you, or the Tarte Shape Tape is more expensive, this is the new one from Revolution. This is their IRL Filter Finish Concealer. I also got too light of a shade in this as well, but it's okay because I have another product that I can mix concealers with if I accidentally pick the wrong undertone or if I pick the wrong shade. But this is more of kind of like a mattifying concealer, the way that Tarte Shape Tape is. If you have super dry under eyes, you will absolutely hate this, but this to me is not as drying as the Tarte Shape Tape, but this gives a beautiful full coverage to the under eye area, and I don't put it all the way under my eyes. I will just put it like right here in this little darker kind of hollowed out area and pat it out. And the teeniest amount on both of these, the teeniest amount of these goes a really, really long way. So if you saw these in the drugstore and you were interested, these are two really nice concealers that you might want to try out. I also picked up a little bit of skincare. Now these are not brand new to the market, but they're brand new to me, and I wanted to share them just in case you were curious if they were any good. This is by the brand Versed. This is their retinol. It's like an eye balm. What is it called? Advanced Retinoid Eye Balm. And I had been wanting to try this, and I actually really like it. But what I do is I use whatever eye cream that I'm using during the evening, and then I'll just put a little layer of this over top. It's kind of like a Vaseline that would seal it in, but you know, you wouldn't want to seal in your high strength retinol underneath your eyes because you don't want to cause any irritation. So if you have, you know, more irritated under eyes, but you are looking to use kind of a really low percentage of a retinol product under your eyes, this is really nice. I do really like it. And then I also picked up their Pressed Restart Gentle Retinol Body Lotion. I've used this now a few weeks and I still have mixed feelings on it. I love the results. This is, to me, more of a treatment product versus a body lotion. It just looks like a regular body lotion. It has really nice ingredients in it, so I thought it was going to be really thick and moisturizing on my skin. It has the jojoba esters, it has cocoa seed butter, it has squalane. Does this have shea butter? I thought it did. No, I don't see any shea butter. But then of course it also has the retinol in it. But for me, it's not one of those kind of, I'd say, I call them feel-good moisturizers that will make my skin really glowy and moisturized and soft. That's not what this does, and I thought that's what it would do, of course, with the added retinol. For me, this is more of kind of like a treatment product. It dries down so fast. It doesn't give my skin a glow or feel super moisturized and, you know, juicy, soft. But I actually like how after using it just for like a week of using it, I noticed my skin was feeling a little more firm and a little soft. So what I like to do is I put this on directly after the shower, and then I will put on whatever basic moisturizer over top just to kind of seal it in and to add that extra moisturizing kind of feel good effect that I like with other moisturizers. I picked up two of these LA Girl Soft Matte Cream Blushes. Now, I am pretty sure I have owned these before. These are not brand new to the market, but I am pretty sure I bought this one in a different color a few months back, and I did not like it at all. But I saw these and I thought, well, let me just try them again. But I actually really, really like these. You know, sometimes we might not like a product that we pick up because maybe we're using it incorrectly, and that's exactly what I was doing why I didn't like it. These are a beautiful creamy blush, but I'm gonna put just the smallest dot on because these are so highly pigmented. Do you see this little teeny dot that I put on? And what I was doing, I was taking them on my finger. I mean, look at this. Do you see how pigmented this is? But I was taking these on my finger, and then I was pressing it on my cheeks the way I can with many other cream blush products. Not with these. That is what was giving me a weird kind of patchy application, and I just did not like how it looked at all. Oh, I'm hot. Let me get my hair off my neck. But what I realized, the best way to use these and how to make these absolute perfection is to use a big fluffy brush, maybe like a kabuki type one that you might apply a powder or cream foundation. This is one from BK Beauty, one of my all-time favorite brushes from her line. This is the 101, but this is the travel one. I still like her regular 101, but there's just something about this travel one that, I don't know. I know it's the same brush, but I love it better. But what I do is I will spread it on my hand like this, the teeniest drop, and then I kind of press this brush all around, making sure I kind of evenly distribute it. And then this way it gets all over the brush. And then what I'll even do is go on a spot that doesn't have the blush just to get off some of the excess so I don't look like a total clown afterwards. And then I can put it on my cheeks and it will evenly distribute it, and it will look so, so, so pretty. So this says that it's a soft matte finish, but once this completely dries down, it doesn't dry down to, you know, like a chalky matte. It's nothing like that. A lot of times when we think of matte, we think of more of that super dry, chalky finish. And yes, some products are dry and chalky like that. It pretty much stays put in place. Now this will stain my hand. Earlier when I got ready, I did this, and maybe an hour afterwards I went to wash my hands. I had to wash a couple times to get this off. So for me, this comes off best when I do a double cleanse in the evening. But I love it that it's so super duper pigmented because it stays put on my cheeks all day long. But I also have this on my lips. This is my lipstick that I'm wearing today. I'll make sure I link these shades down below, but this one is a really pretty. Don't let this bright color fool you. You know, you can just lightly put it on the way I did. And then I also got this one that's a little bit more of a peachy shade. Let me show you this shade, this lighter shade, just so that you can see if it's a shade that you would like for yourself. It's very similar. It's quite similar to the darker one, but do you see this one is more of kind of like a brighter kind of pinky peach. Actually, I'll put this right next to it just so you can see. You can see how these really spread. These spread so far. Do you see that pigmentation? But you know, they're LA Girl, they're super inexpensive, and I'm glad I tried them out again because I didn't realize I was just using them incorrectly. So if you use them the proper way and use a good brush to apply them, I think that you'll really like these. And then this is the other product I bought. I bought this to try it out. I had done another video on how I mix concealers with this orange color corrector, one from Ruby Kisses, and many of you said, well, I wonder if the LA Girl works. Try that one. So I went and bought this one, and I mix it with these. So if I get a shade of concealer that's just too light underneath my eyes, no biggie, I just mix a little smidge of this and it kind of turns it into that really pretty peachy shade, which will color correct and turn the concealer into a shade that's perfect for me. I think this is brand new to the market. This is the Neutrogena. It's like a shimmery eyeshadow primer. I do like this. I think that this is very similar, could be a dupe. I don't have it with me, so I'll have to test it to see if it's a dupe when I go back home. Well, I don't really have a home, but when I go back to where my other suitcases are located right now. But this is very similar to the one by, oh golly, I cannot even think of the name of it. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen, then you'll know which one I'm talking about. But I do really like this other one. I probably like the other one, the higher end one, a little bit better than this, but this one's really nice. So this just gives you this really pretty shimmer if you use this on your eyes as an eyeshadow primer. Now, when you put your eyeshadow over top of this, especially if you have like a palette that you're like, man, this eyeshadow palette just looks too chalky and matte on your eyes, don't throw that palette out, you know, unless it's like 12 years old, but don't throw that palette out. Try this type of a eyeshadow primer first, because this will kind of help make your eyes look a little more hydrated, moisturized, and it has this really pretty sheen to it, this light shimmer. And once this dries down, and if you put like a super chalky matte eyeshadow palette over top, that palette won't look chalky and, you know, icky on your eyes. It will look really pretty when you put that eyeshadow over top of this. I'll even use some of my shimmers over top of this, and it also looks really pretty. Or maybe you don't wear eyeshadow, but you just like that kind of light sheen to your eyelid look. You might want to even just use this on its own. Two eyeshadows that I purchased. I don't know how new these are to the market, but they're new to me. These are the new NYX Glow Shots. These are their liquid eyeshadows. Using this in combination with this as the eyeshadow primer. This is the only type of eyeshadow that I have found that this type of primer, it just won't even work, because once I put these liquid ones on, after I'd say about 6, 7, maybe 8 hours, I get like this weird crease where the cream part is starting to like pill up into the crease of my eye. So I'm not really a huge fan of these. I'm gonna try these again with maybe my Milani eyeshadow primer, this one here, or I also have the Anastasia eye primer. I'm gonna try these with different eye primers and see. But this one works best, I noticed, with my powder eyeshadows. I just didn't like the combination of these, but these are actually gorgeous. So if you love cream eyeshadows, look how shimmery this is. This is so pretty. This is the other shade I got. They're almost very similar. This one just has a little more peachiness to it, and this one is more of like a pearly cream shade. The next product is this one by Flower Beauty. This is their Low Light Liquid Contour Corrector Liquid. I really can't read. I think that's what it says. Correcteur liquid is what it says. I guess I said it wrong. This looks quite identical to the contour product from Charlotte Tilbury. So of course I had to get it. I do really like that Charlotte Tilbury product, the one that looks like this. I'm not a huge fan of a ton of Charlotte Tilbury products. I still buy a lot of her products and try them, but if I'm not wowed, that's why you don't really ever see me sharing them, because to me, I just think a lot of them are overpriced for what they do. But I know a lot of people love that brand, which is totally fine. It just, most of those products don't work great for me. But I do really enjoy her liquid contour product that looks like this. The Charlotte Tilbury one to me is quite creamy, but then it dries down to a nice soft finish and it blends like a dream. I really, really enjoy it. This one I thought was going to be almost the same. Let me just squeeze some out. So it's got like a lock and unlock little feature here, and then you can squeeze it out, and then I always lock it afterwards so it doesn't make too much of a mess. But this is the shade. It's a perfect shade. I absolutely love the shade. However, if you're like me and you're not a makeup artist and you're slower at doing your makeup, you're not as, you know, precise as some of the experts out there, do not put this all over your face and then think you're gonna blend afterwards. This stuff dries so quickly, I have to quickly put it on here and blend it. Quickly put it here, blend it. Don't make the same mistake I did, because I pretty much had to wash everything else off after I did that. It dries too fast for me. To me, this is absolutely not a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury product. Sure, the packaging is almost identical, the concept is the same, but the formula of this, it's not a terrible product, it's just I don't enjoy it. I really enjoy the color, but this is probably, yeah, this is actually pretty much dried already. It's very difficult for me to spread it, and it's kind of patchy also. And actually, I'll show you, I'll do it right away and pretend I'm gonna blend it right after I put it on versus talking and then trying to do it. So while it's still wet, this is how it spreads. And of course, you're not gonna rub like this on your face with your finger. Parts of it stay darker, other parts are lighter. It's just not that easy to blend for me. I feel like it's just too much of a patchy product. But one that I did really like, this is not brand new to the market, but I forget who it was. I saw somebody online use this as their contour or as their bronzer. I'm not a huge contour person, and I'm gonna share with you another video of why I think contouring is not that good when we get my age, but how I make my face look contoured without using a contour. But this is a product also by Revolution Beauty. This is their Eye Bright. This is actually a concealer, but this is, I think it's caramel. Again, I'll link all the shades down below because I can't read anymore since, you know, my eyes are just deciding to age also. I should take some astaxanthin. That's what I should take. Astaxanthin is something that I like to take when my vision starts getting funny. And it does. After like 2 weeks, I do notice my vision starts to get a little more clear. It could all be in my head, but I do really think it works. But this, actually, let me just show you what I did. This doesn't dry down super fast, but it's also not super dark, and I just used a sponge for this. But after I did my foundation, I kind of just used it to make it look like I have just a little bit of contour. This is also pretty if you want to give yourself some cheekbones, which I already have. Obviously, I already have big poofy cheeks, and I have obvious cheekbones. These are not fillers, this is just the way I was born. But if you wanted to make yourself look like you have, you know, more of a cheekbone, you could use that there. For me, if I were to try to find a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one, the one that looks similar to this, I would say it's not this Flower Beauty one, just because it has the same packaging. I would say this shade, Caramel, I believe is what it is, this under eye concealer from Revolution, I would say this is more of a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury product. All right, another product that I shared already in another video, this is by Neutrogena. This is their new mineral UV tint SPF 30 tinted sunscreen. It's an all mineral sunscreen. I just despise this on my skin. It doesn't dry down on me, and it very well could be because, you know, we're in the tropics and maybe it's more humid. So I'm not getting rid of this because I do want to test this again when I do go back to Texas or when I'm traveling to other places. I want to see if I can get it to dry down. Maybe my skin just the past few weeks has been super humid. I don't know. But I love the ingredients. I love the size of the package. I don't love the price. I felt like for a drugstore product, I felt like it was like $16 or $17. I got it at Walgreens, I believe. I felt like it was a little pricey for that, for a sunscreen. You know, I do have some sunscreens that cost a little bit more, but they have a lot more elegant ingredients. We don't need to have all that in a sunscreen. Just use whatever sunscreen works best for your skin. Some people are telling me that they do really like this, but they have dry skin. I have more normal to sometimes oily skin, so for me that could be why I absolutely did not like this. However, I used this the past couple days underneath my eyes. My eyes aren't as normal to oily as my face is. My eyes are more normal to dry. So I did my regular sunscreen on my face, and then right before I did my concealer, since this is more hydrating and creamy, I put just a little bit of this underneath my eyes, kind of as my eye cream, and to prep my under eyes before concealer, and I did really like it for that. So, you know, like I said, I always try to find ways to make products work because I don't want to just get rid of them, or, you know, I could give them away to friends or family also, but I do like to always see if I could make a product work for me. So for me, this is not something I would say, oh my gosh, you got to rush out and try this new sunscreen, unless maybe you have super duper dry skin and you're looking for more of a tinted sunscreen that's not going to leave a white cast. Just make sure you pick up the right shade for your skin. I am more medium, a little bit deeper medium, and I got the shade medium, and in the packaging it looks like it would match my skin, but it's not. It's like way too light for me. Maybe the darker shade would work, but I'm probably not going to buy the darker shade because I don't really like this product that much. Oh, I also picked this up from Flower Beauty. I don't know how new this is. This is their liquid highlighter. I want to get another shade. I think it has 3 shades, but I picked up this one. I think this was the middle shade, and again, I'm going to link the shades down below. But this is really pretty, but what I don't like is it dries down super fast as well. Some of you might like products that dry down fast, but I personally don't. I do like them to dry down, but not within like 2.2 seconds. So when I use this, I have to, you know, put a little bit of it on and then quickly blend it out. So I do think this is really pretty on my cheeks. This shade I feel like has a little too much pink in it, so it looks pretty on my blush, on my upper cheekbone here, but I don't love it, you know, on my nose or anywhere else. But this is nice. I don't know if I would rush out and buy this again when it runs empty, because I already have an all-time favorite Holy Grail highlighter, a liquid highlighter. I'll link it down below. I've shared it in other videos. But this is a nice one if you are looking for a liquid highlighter at the drugstore. 2 products I was actually super excited to get. These are by Revlon. I'm pretty sure these are new because they had a whole display on how amazing these supposedly are. It's their new micro tip brow pencil, and I thought, ooh, these look so thin. These are going to be perfect. But you guys, if you already like the NYX one, to me the NYX is actually, I think the NYX is smaller. Now the packaging of this Revlon is smaller than the NYX, so that's how it fooled me. But let me see if I can zoom in. I'm gonna turn these up and I'll compare it to the NYX. This one is the Revlon and this is the NYX, which I'm sure many people are familiar with the NYX, but I don't know if you can see the tip of these. Let me roll these up more so you can see. Hope I'll be able to roll these down. But so the tip of them is almost identical. So this kind of fooled me. I thought, wow, this is gonna be super micro fine, which it is. I mean, it's nice and thin, but I already have a Holy Grail brow pencil that is even thinner than these. It's not drugstore, but here I'll show you. It's the one by Huda Beauty, or is it Huda? How do you say her name? Is it Huda or Huda? I hear everybody saying it differently. This one right here is my all-time favorite, and then these 2. These are nice, but they're not as thin as the Huda one. And I bought 2 shades of these from Revlon. I think I got the dark brown and the medium brown. They work fine for me, but again, they're not my absolute favorite. I was hoping this would be a dupe for the Huda Beauty one because I thought it was going to be super teeny like that, and then since it said waterproof, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to love this. I do like it, but it's not a dupe, and it's not my all-time favorite. I also picked up some eyeshadow. This is the eyeshadow that I've been wearing in the last few videos. These are by CoverGirl. I don't know how new these are, but they had a whole new display. I think at CVS is where I got these, and these are their clean color palettes. It's the 4-pan palette. They look really similar to the one from e.l.f. But I like these. I don't love them, but I do really like them. Today, what I have on, I put this lightest purple on first to kind of make a crease, and I was like, wow, that's really purple on me. But I wanted something to go with my super light pink top. And then I ended up taking this shade. This is matte and this is matte, and these both have a sheen. And then I ended up darkening up my crease with this. And I didn't want to use this pinky shimmer on the lid, so I reached for the shimmer that's in here. This one's kind of more of like a peachy shade. These are nice. This one is the only matte one in this palette, and these are 2 super light shimmers. So I feel like, I don't know, the whole idea of these palettes, you know, I like that they are affordable from the drugstore, but I don't feel like the whole palette is like a wearable palette. Like, I don't only want one matte shade. I wish there were 2 matte shades and then, you know, a super light shimmer and then maybe something for the lid. This one is perfect for this little darker spot, you know, that we get on our inner eye, and it kind of helps brighten it up. So that's what I use this one for. This one's a really nice kind of creamy shimmer, and this is a really nice matte that goes on without getting all patchy. This one, it doesn't feel as creamy. It almost feels kind of chunky, when you touch it, but I mean, do you see that serious shimmer? That's what I put on my eyelid. Kind of, you know, makes your eyes kind of twinkle, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Again, they're not my all-time favorite. I was just trying to see if maybe there's something else for travel that would, you know, blow me away. For travel, I'm trying to reach it out here. This is the one that I carry for travel because it's a perfect little palette. This is by Peri Para. I think I paid like under $10 for this. I've shared this in quite a few videos. I love this palette. This is just the most wearable palette for me. So you can't pick this up in the drugstore. I get this off of Yes Style, but I'll link this one down below. All right, this is another product I picked up. This is by Milani. I have not watched any other reviews yet, so I'm gonna have to look at some other videos to see what other people think, but I've seen this on their thumbnail, and I saw this in, I think it was Walgreens when I went in there, and so of course I had to pick it up. This is the new mascara from Milani. Now I love a lot of Milani's mascaras, but this is their highly rated mascara. This is their Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara. Now I do love their other two highly rated mascaras, so of course I thought I was gonna absolutely love this, but you guys, I do not like this mascara at all. And I've tried this so many times because I keep thinking, I love Milani mascaras, there's gotta be something I'm doing wrong. Then I think, well, you know how sometimes a mascara, when you first use it, it's not that great, and then maybe 2-3 weeks later, you absolutely love it. For example, my City Beauty Beyond mascara, when I first got this, I hated it. And then I put it in my makeup bin, and about 2-3 weeks later, I tried it again, and I loved it. And now, of course, this is the one that I go to almost every single day. I try to wear this mascara, and it weighs my lashes down. It is so wet, and it separates all my lashes. That's really nice. It's got a nice kind of sheen to it, which I like that as well. But I just can't get my lashes to look pretty with this. It stays so wet and kind of gloppy. You have to be so careful when you use this because it can make the biggest mess on your eyes. But even when I curl my lashes with this, it's so heavy. They look weighed down, and they look just kind of puny, and I just don't like how it looks. It doesn't give me that really pretty lift to my eyes the way other drugstore mascaras do. And of course, nothing does what my City Beauty mascara does for me. Right, so that's pretty much everything I picked up at the drugstore recently. And of course, don't forget about the City Beauty 35% off sale. If you love City Beauty products as much as I do, their City Lips, all of their skincare is included in their 35% off site-wide sale with my discount code. I will leave that down below, and that is a sale. I think it only lasts a few days, but I will leave all of the sale information down below as well. Let me know if you've tried any of these products, and let me know your thoughts on them. Like I said, I know we all have different skin types, so not every product that works for me, of course, is gonna work for you, and vice versa. So if I'm sharing something that I hate and you love it, please don't get offended, because it's just skincare and makeup. I don't really know why we would get offended, but there are some out there that do. Of course, I love it when you also share what you don't like. It doesn't offend me at all. So for example, if you say you absolutely hate City Beauty, their City Lips, and of course this is my all-time favorite, I'm just gonna block and unfriend you. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna get offended if you don't like the City Lips. It's okay if we don't love the same products. That's my whole point. If you wanted to see my review, and I'll swatch these and I try these on, these two new concealers, if you want more details on these to see if potentially if they could become a holy grail for you, I am going to pop that other video up here if you wanted to click on that and check it out. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.